Hey everybody, welcome to the D-Rich Show. This is D-Rich, and today is the 7th of January 2021. Hey guys, how's everything going? I just want to welcome you guys to the show today. Thanks for liking and subscribing to the channel. Anyway guys, it's been a rough one. It's been a rough couple of days. But anyway, we are going to maintain a positive attitude and keep moving forward because in the crypto space there's a lot of positivity going on, and there's a lot of movement going on with digital assets and cryptocurrency. So the market cap just up here, as you can see, it hit the $1 trillion mark, and Bitcoin's dominance is at 69.2% still. Bitcoin just breached 40,000 not too long ago. Before the time of the recording is a little bit different, but it's still up to $38,287. Ethereum is at $1,206. Look at that. XRP is about to bounce to 32 cents, up 23% in the last 24 hours. So guys, if you were listening to me about a week two ago, I was telling you to acquire and accumulate when it was at 18 cents, 19 cents, I believe it was, to add to your bag. So you're reaping some profits right now if you had listened to me at that point. But that's not here nor there, because at the end of the day, if you still weren't able to buy the dip and you held strong, congratulations. It's not an easy asset to hold on to for a long period of time, because some people are not patient. They can't persevere through FUD or any other bad news. But anyway, Litecoin $167.40, and Cardano up 30 cents. It looks like that's moving to the top 5. And me, if you heard me a few weeks ago, I wasn't so sure about Cardano, but you know what, there was something that I read or seen, which prompted me to go ahead and get in. So I got me a nice little bag at like 14 cents. So we riding that thing on up 57% in the last 7 days. So anyway, look at that. Stellar moved into the top 10, 31 cents. Oh, 137% over the last 7 days. So if you are a believer in Stellar, not comparing it anything to XRP or anything like that, but they're like brother or sister and are twins or whatever you want to call it. And I never would have assumed or thought that in price range Stellar would ever catch up, but it did briefly. But anyway, it still catapulted Stellar into the top 10, almost to the top 5. And you know what? If you are a believer like I am, then you know that XRP is digital gold and Stellar is digital silver. So if you want to, put it that way, then okay, great. And Chainlink, $16. Theta, wow, jumped into the top 10. Who would have known? But I hope you hold that, because I do. And Tezos in the top 10. VeChain is in the top 10. Are you kidding me? Look at the movements. Oh, sorry. You know what, guys? I'm over here reading my watch list. Let me go back over here to the actual list. What a dumbhead I am. I'm over there reading you my list, my favorites. So anyway, I thought those numbers were a little bit strange, but maybe they might bump up in there. But look. So anyway, excuse me, guys. Cardano is at number 6. Polkadot at number 7. Bitcoin Cash at 8, 9, and 10. You got Stellar and Chainlink. So anyway, Stellar did break into the top 10. That was just number 6 on my list. So and VeChain. I don't know how I got that high, but maybe I was just missing something. But obviously it was just my watch list that I had it on. But anyway, if you're accumulating and acquire, guys, you could probably buy into any one of these digital assets and make some huge gains. I've been hearing about a lot of different assets. You know what? I don't chase. I don't, chase after anything, because at the end of the day, I do what works for me, and I would suggest that you do what works best for you. This is not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. But anyway, guys, we're going to break out a little. We're not going to talk about cryptocurrency too much today, but if you're watching the market, stay doing your due diligence, doing your research, educating yourself. But you know what? For the last 24 hours, this has been like a little roller coaster ride for a lot of people, and I want to put some things in perspective so that if you're listening to the channel, always, even for myself, I have to reserve judgment. And, if I'm wrong, I'll tell you that I'm wrong, and I'll immediately tell you that I'm wrong and I made a mistake in my visual, and I didn't get a, good look at it. So, if I have to take a second look and, reevaluate some of the things that I say, or any things that, might be wrong or out of the ordinary, I'm going to be very apologetic, and I'm going to, admit the truth, because, truth and transparency is what, I like to believe in. So at the end of the day, if I'm wrong, I'll admit that. But what I want to talk about is, this election thing. I know they don't want to hear it on, YouTube, Twitter, things like that. They might ban you. They might ban me. Who knows? I don't care. But I think it's important for us to kind of like establish some things for the next 13 days, because in the next 13 days, your life is about to change. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be indifferent, it could be the same. Who knows? But in the next coming days and weeks, guys, I just want you guys to know that there's going to be some things that are unusual to the eyesight, and you might get turned off and sick. But there's some things that I want to go over, because it's important for people who do not really read outside of cryptocurrency or digital assets. They don't tie all of it together with what's going on. For me, I have to, because it's all in one big melting pot. And the Constitution, as we see, is a big part of it. So yes, we did see the Electoral College vote elect one person, and that person will probably be inaugurated on January 20th. However, that is the most important date that we have to look forward to. It wasn't yesterday. It's not tomorrow. It wasn't on the 3rd. It wasn't on... there's only 2 dates that the Constitution talks about, and I'll read them real quick here, because these are some things that people, misinterpret or conceive as, he got elected or whatever. Okay, that might be true. But the only day that matters is if that person can make it to the 20th. Section 1. The terms of the president and the vice president shall end at noon on the 20th day of January, and the terms of senators and representatives at noon on the 3rd day of January of the years in which such terms would have ended is the article and not have been ratified, and the terms of their successor then shall begin. So on the 20th, that's when there should be a transition. I'm going to hold off and wait. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, because it's important for me to be patient. And this is the type of person you're dealing with here on this channel, because patience always is the best resolve. When things are difficult and things are, appearing bad, especially if you are a patriot or you believe in, one person or the other, which is fine. I respect you either way. But it's important that, it's really not about one person or the other. It's really about you as a human being as a person who, wants freedom and liberty, justice for everyone. And, I want that. And, I condone violence. I condone, terrorism and racism. I condone those things. Excuse me, I don't condone those things. Let me correct that. I don't condone those things. I condemn them. That was the word I was looking for. I condemn them. I don't condone them. Because that's just nothing that is good. It exists. I have to admit that, but it's too far in between for me to say that those things are going to affect what I do on a day-to-day basis and how I treat people regularly, whether this is something that's being propagated or not. Because at the end of the day, I know who I am and I know who I need to treat right. And you as a human being, no matter what, you're going to get that respect in class coming from me, because that's just what I do. Regardless if you are this, that, or the other, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, we are all humanity. All one. We reach for the same goals and strive for the same purposes in life. We have some of the same feelings, emotions. We bleed the same. We might not necessarily think the same or think alike, but we have some of the same qualities, and we want some of the same things, and we want fairness. Anyway, I want to move on with this, because there's some things that need to be talked about, because what we seen yesterday, the storming and breaching of the Capitol. You guys have to understand that we are in a war climate, and there's been things put in place. The National Defense Production Act is in place. I'll go ahead and read that real quick. The Defense Production Act of 1950 is a United States federal law enacted on September 8th, 1950, in the response of the start of the Korean War. It was part of a broad civil defense and war mobilization effort in the context of the Cold War. It's implementing regulations. The defense priorities and allocation systems are located at the 15 CFR, whatever that is. Since 1950, the act has been reauthorized over 50 times, and it has been periodically amended and remains in force. So, in a crisis, these things go into in effect. All of the 50 states signed off on this. So there's nothing that we can do. You have what happened. You've seen Operation Warp Speed. Manufacturing came back. Pharmaceutical manufacturing came back. Things like that. The health industry has improved during this. So if you look up those things, this is why those things are important, and this is why jobs are coming back to this country, because of the Defense Production Act, and it allows the sitting president, to have different authorities. The act contains 3 major sections. The first authorizes the president to require businesses to accept and prioritize contracts for materials deemed necessary for national defense, regardless of loss incurred on the business. The law also allows the president to designate materials to be prohibited from hoarding or price gouging. The law does not state what would occur if a business refuses or is unable to complete a request on the time. This act also authorizes the president to requisition of property, force industry to expand production and the supply of basic resources, settle labor disputes, control consumer and real estate credit, establish contractual priorities, and allocate raw materials towards national defense. So guys, just understand that the current president, whether you like him or not, has a shitload of control and authority to control finance. So guess who controls the Treasury Department, the Federal Reserve. That would be the sitting president. Okay, so keep that in mind. He has control over a lot of things, and when you get your stimulus check, it's because of this president. Okay, because he's the one that's fighting for $2,000. If you look up, there's going to be another check coming out to you before the 15th. They have to make it happen. So you got to say there's never been another president who's ever given a stimulus check, period. But anyway, moving forward, the Patriot Act. The U.S. Patriot Act, commonly known as the Patriot Act, is an act of the United States Congress that was signed into law by U.S. President George W. Bush on October 26, 2001. The U.S. Patriot is a backronym that stands for United and Strengthening America by providing appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct terrorism. This was written following the September 11th attacks in an effort to dramatically tighten the U.S. national security, particularly as it related to foreign terrorism in general. The act included three main provisions. It expanded the abilities of law enforcement to surveil, including by tapping domestic and international phones, ease interagency communication to allow federal agencies to more effectively use all available resources in counterterrorism efforts, and to increase penalties for terrorism crimes, and an expanded list of activities which will qualify someone to be charged with terrorism. So, guys, all of this stuff is in play. You got the executive order. I think it is 13959, where don't quote me on that number, where something can happen with the president. He could do a whole lot. He has a lot of tools at his arsenal. Especially if anyone interfered with these elections, and it looks like we're starting to see some evidence come out, and it will come out. So, you never play your hand. You never, show your hand when you know you have it all. So the Patriot Act is for this. It allows, the president to have many powers. So keep an eye on that. Then what I want to explain is that you have the writ of habeas corpus and the suspension clause. And the reason why I bring this up is because what you're going to see and witness over the next several days and weeks is probably some people that you like, that you admire, that you trusted in, have their writ of habeas corpus suspended. And what that means is that they will not be allowed bail. Only the federal government and not the states it has been held obliquely is limited by the clause. This issue that has always excited critical attention is the authority in which the clause places the power to determine whether the circumstances warrant of the suspension of privileges of the writ. Okay, this is the only place in the Constitution in which the great writ is mentioned. Okay, so let's go read here at the top. The privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless when in cases of rebellion or invasion the public safety may require it. So these things are important. You go ahead and read that stuff. Read the whole thing. I won't read it all to you. I mean, I can kind of, give you a synopsis of it and break it down a little bit. But you know what? When you have people who are traitors and you have people who are committing treason right there in front of you, which means the certification of a fraudulent vote, that means you ignored your constituents, you ignored the population, the people. How one person gets 80 million votes who sat in his basement? I don't fucking know. You know? And then for another person to get 75 million votes, that's more than the population here in the United States. So you do your own number crunch and you tell me what is what. But treason is the crime of attacking a state authority to which one owns allegiance. This typically includes acts such as participating in war against one's native country, attempting to overthrow its government, spying on its military, its diplomats, or its secret services for a hostile and foreign power, or attempting to kill its head of state. A person who commits treason is known in law as a traitor. So when was the last time that we've actually seen traitors be held for treason? Go back to Abraham Lincoln days. Do some research. Look it up. What happened then? They tried to assassinate him. And I wouldn't put it past anyone who may have tried to do that to the current president. But anyway, guys, maybe I'm just a little bit delusional. Maybe I'm just looking into this too much. Maybe I'm just a conspiracy theorist. Who knows? But it's just important for me, even outside of cryptocurrencies, to tie all this stuff together, because at the end of the day, I've always told you that there's going to be one person and one person only who introduces XRP to the world. And that is the person that has control. Okay? Of everything. Whether you think it's lost or not. Nothing is lost until you find it. So, with my spirit, with my energy, I'm continue to fight for what I believe in. I believe in God first. And I put my faith there. You know, I know that this show has taken a turn, and, you know, this channel is probably taking a turn, but, you know, if I don't say some of these things or address some of these things, then it would be a disservice to you who may not necessarily listen to stuff like this, or who may not want to listen to stuff like that, which is cool. To each their own. It's called the law of average. Some will, some won't, so what? But anyway, guys, I just want to put those pieces together. You could do your own research. Again, I'll always leave those things in the description. And you can go ahead and read that and, you know, do some investigation for yourself, because not a lot of people is going to talk to you about the Constitution. Nobody's going to talk to you about the National Defense Production Act, Patriot Act, how the writ of Habeas Corpus can be suspended. The time is of the essence, and I believe that the left will be trying to enact the 25th Amendment, because they might think that the current president is a lunatic or crazy, or might do something off the chain. Well, why would you want to do that? If he's leaving, why would you want to do that? If you got 2 weeks, why would you want to leave him? Well, again, because they know he has a shitload of power right now, you know, and he can enact a lot of this stuff. And there's an insurrection. People breaching the White House. Were they those supporters that they claim to be? Or was it Antifa? You decide. You figure it out. Again, I condemn that type of behavior. Whether you be left or right, or whether you are just a regular person doing dumb shit. Don't go doing dumb shit. But I can tell you from some of the videos that I've seen, it was an inside job. Okay? Listen, I'm an executive security professional. You know, I'm going to throw that out there for you. I do a lot of secret detail, private detail. And some of those security officers or whatever are horrible. I could tell you that right now. And you know what, with my training, with my expertise, with my knowledge of, you know, these type of situations, being in high level areas when it comes to dealing with law enforcement, dealing with, you know, different type of people, in, you know, security world, things like that, I would say that what I've seen on video is despicable by those people. And you know what? If that was something that I did or acted, I would fire myself. I would fire myself immediately, because that means I did a shitty job. And you know, I try to not do a shitty job when I do my job. And I try to know my job inside and out. And I try to be the best. And this is why I'm hired on by a lot of people. You can go on my Instagram and find me. DRich 2000, 91 2001. You can see a couple of the photos that I'm in with, you know, who I'm in photos with. And you can decide for yourself if I'm telling the truth or not. And that's up to you. But anyway, guys, again, you can always follow me on Twitter, drich5531. I will also be here on YouTube, which is the DRich Show. You know, I'm sorry for this show, but I'm not going to be sorry, because at the end of the day, this is what has inspired me over the last couple of days. I'm here in 2021, and you know what? I want truth. I want transparency, just like everybody else. And you know, last year we had the vision, 2020 vision, to see shit that we never seen before. This year, I'm going to go after it more so than ever, because, you know, maybe I didn't put 100% effort in 2020. Maybe I took things for granted. This year I will not. You know, I had an outstanding year, even though there was some difficulties within it. You know, we had the pandemic, or whatever you want to call it. And, you know, we had to navigate through that. We navigated through some tough times. We navigated through the SEC trying to declare as XRP a security. You know, my only suggestion is to be patient, persevere. And if you don't see if that all of this is tied into one another in a nutshell, you'll see. And this is worldwide, and this is why you're going to see a lot of stuff happen over the next 24 hours, 48 hours. Buckle up. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. That's my time for today. Have a wonderful day. Try to pick your spirits up. Keep your head high, because everything is always going to be all right. Because if you put someone above you that's greater than yourself, it's always going to work out, and it's going to work out. And if you're holding XRP or any other digital assets, I think that we're in good shape. And you know, just put all this stuff together and see what happens, and see who controls what, because we're going to witness something very soon, and it has to do with XRP too. You gotta better believe it. You better believe it. All of this is one big plan. We're either going to have a global reset, or we're going to have a transition into greatness. I believe in the latter. God bless. Take care, guys, and always remember to treat everyone with class, dignity, and respect. Bye-bye.